Thriving in these times is a struggle for even the best businesses, but there are some key things that you need to have in check in order to make the most of the economic downturn. And we have an expert here today to help, Michael Contino. He is president of On Target Performance Group. Welcome, Michael.
Thank you very much for having us.
Now, I know there are some key things to every successful business. You have to make sure the finances are in check and the operation is smooth. Is that kind of a good overview?
Absolutely. In today's economic times, companies are not only struggling with the downturn on the sales side, but the increased level of their costs, and ultimately that reflects in the profitability of the company.
So tell us how you at On Target can help companies.
One of our primary offerings is what we call a focused business assessment. That focused business assessment goes into a company very quickly and helps them determine where they can allocate their resources. That normally takes a 3 to 6 week period of time where we work with that organization, spend time with them to determine what area of the business to focus on. We get in there very quickly, look at their reporting, look at the processes that they've identified, and then we spend time very succinctly looking at and formulating recommendations, return on investments, and paybacks on those recommendations so that a company can very quickly say, okay, we need to spend time in this area in these tough economic times that actually help us not only survive, but to thrive going forward.
You know, and a lot of companies these days might say, well, it is tough. It's a tough time. We don't have the cash to do this, but there is a real argument for why they really should find the cash to do it, because it's going to help them, but you actually have hard data on what you can bring to the table and how it can help them.
Our focused business assessment is one of our most popular solution offerings right now, and typically our solutions will provide a 200 to 300% return on investment and a payback period of normally 6 months or less. So we work with companies as small as $5 million and over $1 billion in size. So we're extremely scalable to be able to go into those organizations and quickly and say, given your size of your business, your customers, your supplier base, here are some recommendations. If you take not only our services, but you invest your time and effort on that 3 to 6 week period of time, we can provide you with recommendations that return 200 to 300% to cash to the bottom line of the business.
And that's terrific, valuable information for them to really chew on. Now, you do the assessment, and then what kind of services do you offer? There's a whole bunch of things you can help with.
Our services fall into 4 primary categories: business or operational, finance, strategic services, and technical support services.
So tell us, for example, what you do financially. Is cash flow one of the biggest problems for companies?
Cash flow actually falls into what we consider our business or operational, because again, that is a resultant of the operations of the business.
Okay.
But a typical financial offering is we get involved with companies, helping them understand the way to work with banks. Obviously, in today's economy, the bank resources have dried up. So in many cases, their requirements back to the companies to extend lines of credit have increased dramatically. So we help those companies improve the key metrics that the bank uses to actually determine, yes, we're going to either extend further credit to you or to actually, extend the first credit.
Operationally, I'm sure that people play a major role in how a company does. You have to have the right people in the right seats for it to flow smoothly.
Our core consulting knowledge really is on the operational side. Personally, I'm an industrial engineer with an MBA in finance, so I grew up in the manufacturing environment, which is all about the way people interact and obviously produce products. So we are an operational company with a very broad financial perspective. We integrate that operational side to a true knowledge to how that hits the bottom line, the general ledger, or ultimately to the income statements.
What are some of the key themes through businesses that you see that are obstacles for them really performing as well as they could?
Eve, you hit on the number one right now is definitely a cash crunch. Companies that have gone out and have had to lay off people, they're in a situation, they're in survival mode, and that's our key motto right now is solutions today to actually help those companies survive and thrive tomorrow.
And if you could tell us real quickly what makes On Target unique. There are a lot of consultants out there. Why would someone choose you?
As I mentioned, we're actually a small company We are primarily based here in Ohio. We do have a presence in Chicago, Illinois. So we're a Midwest-based company, although we've done work in Georgia, Indiana, North Carolina. So we're primarily a Midwest-based company. Our EVP of Ops and I both grew up in Ohio. We actually had manufacturing jobs that helped put us through college, Ohio universities, and our first jobs after college were in the environment of the Ohio-based manufacturing. So we have a vested interest in Ohio's survival. We actually are currently working with some of the economic developers here in Ohio to just try to add what we can put back into, where we grew up and, those communities.
Michael Contino, President of OnTarget, thanks so much for being with us today and sharing your story.
Thank you very much for having us.
And for more information about OnTarget Performance Group, check out OnTargetPG.com. More of Ohio & Company next. Don't go away.